What's going on, guys? This is Dana, and today we're going to be working on 3 audio files. Music, actually, a couple headbangers up there. And the first thing I want to point out, these came off of SoundCloud, is where they were downloaded from. And they're at 128 kbps, and this really needs to be 320. I don't know if the band did this. I don't know if SoundCloud does it. I truly have no idea. But if you're putting your music up there, you need to download it and check it and see. Okay? So let's go ahead and bring up the Orban Meter. Now here, this is the first song, and we're going to bring this up in Reaper here in a second. It's a negative 5.7. Well, the first thing, SoundCloud is going to stream your audio at a negative 14. Okay? So they're going to have to manipulate your audio right off the bat to stream off their platform. They're going to do this. You don't have an option. So the closer you can get to that negative 14, the better off you're going to be. So the loudness range is a 6.7, and this is the key right here. The highest reconstructed peak level is a positive 2.8. You never want this to be a positive number, because this is what happens. 45,622 times this audio has peaked or clipped. And that's where you hear that scratching noise when you play it, or the pops and the dings and all the other stuff you just do not want in your audio. Okay, so let's look at the second one. Same thing. It's a positive 1.5. 63,292 clips. Okay, now let's go to the third one. 32,995 clips. Again, a positive 2.0 dB full scale at the highest reconstructed peak. Okay, now look at the numbers here, the negative 6, the negative 5.6, the negative 5.7. Now these numbers are fine if they're up to around that negative 14. When the AES talks about a 4 dB loudness range, all these numbers fit that. Now we're not talking about the loudness range in the actual soundtrack. We're talking about if these 3 tracks were played back to back, you would not have to make any adjustment on your volume knob whatsoever, and that's the goal. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this up in Reaper. Okay, guys, so here's our 3 tracks. Okay, now with Reaper, you come up to extensions, and you're going to click on the loudness. It's going to bring this up right here, and then you're going to sit here and just left mouse click, or hold the control button, and then select the other 2, and then simply analyze selected items, and this is the information you're going to receive. Now here again, look at our 2 peak levels. Everything is on the positive side. Okay, look at the headroom we've got on track number 1. There is none. That's where all those clips are coming from. Okay, when you see your waveform like that, that's your first indication, guys. It ain't the way it's supposed to be. You know, look at my tagline. Record properly and master lightly. Now here again, I don't know if this band did this, the people that are mixing and mastering their music did this, or whether SoundCloud did this. But this is not what you want it to be. So what do? Well, the 2 numbers we're interested in is that negative 5.8 and that positive 3.3. So the simplest way to do it, I'm going to bring up my calculator, and I'm going to go 5.8 plus 3.3 equals 9.1. Now that 9.1, if I render this audio, okay, or I level it to that 9.1, that's going to put me at 0 dBs. And it should not show any clips. But I don't want that. I want a little bit of headroom in there. So instead of a 9.1, I'm going to normalize this. I'm going to pick 9.5. Okay? So I'm simply going to come over here. I'm going to right mouse click this. I'm going to normalize it to 9.5. Watch these numbers change. Okay, watch this number right here change, and this number right here. Give it just a second. You see, Now we're at a negative 0.4. So let's look at that waveform again now. You see the difference? Okay? Now it's where it truly needs to be. So we simply do the same thing on these other two. Okay? 5.7 plus 2.9 equals 8.6. I'm simply going to make this a 9. Okay, so now we're at a negative 0.3. Here we're at a 0.4. Here we're 1/2 of a dB off as far as our loudness range if you were to play these tracks back to back. And now for the last one, we'll go 6.1 plus 2.6 equals 8.7. So we're going to make this one a 9 as well. And normalize. Now, as you can see, I've got some plugins over here on my master track, but those are turned off. I don't need those as far as just bringing this music to where it needs to be. Look at the headroom now. You see all this up here? Okay? That's the way it should be. I'm going to come down and highlight all these tracks again. Left mouse click, holding my finger on the control key. Come up to File, Render. Get this out of the way. I don't need to tell. I'm going to just sit here and put this back into my Reaper project so it has a place to go. Now, I don't want the master mix, guys. I want the selected tracks. Okay? And then I'm going to add these back into Reaper so I don't have to go hunt them down. Since it's going to be an MP3 in stereo, we're going to take this and we're going to set it to 320. That is the best quality you can have in an MP3 file. Okay? So let's go ahead and render these 3 files. It's going to take just a second. And when it's finished, we'll come back. Okay, guys, so now all these are done. Okay? So we don't need these 3 right now, so I'm going to get rid of these first 3. I'm just going to delete these tracks. Now I'm going to come back to the extensions again. I'm going to bring the loudness back up. Same thing, I'm going to click the one, control, left mouse click, highlight them all, and we're going to analyze these tracks now. Here again, it's going to take a second to do this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we're done now, okay? Now look at the numbers. Negative 9.5, negative 0.5, negative 9, negative 0.4, negative 9, negative 0.4. Like I said, you can see it in the waveforms. So let's go ahead and check it out in the Orban Meter now, okay? So here's the original, here's the remake. Here's the original, here's the remake. Look at the clips, 0, negative 0.4, negative 8.9. Here's the original, 32,995 clips. Here's the remake, 0, negative 0.5, negative 8.9. When I get finished with this video, what I do is I literally strip the audio out of Camtasia. It'll be in a waveform, and then I will run it through Reaper. So I can do what I need to do to get this audio at a negative 14 dBs with anywhere from a negative 0.1 to a negative 0.5 as far as my true peak. Okay? God bless, take care, and we are out of here.